So, so whenever we talk about the input, so it's basically raw material, or we can say that which we give to the computer to process something, to get some output, right? That is basically our input. Okay. So how can we give the input to the computer system or the system? So to give the input to the system, we need a device. So we have different type of devices, which is basically the hardware. I have already told you that what is hardware and what is software. So hardware basically is that is basically our input. Now, before giving detailed description of input, we have to know what are the types of input. So simply we know that we can write 10, 20, Ram, Sham, Jodo, Mudu, and so on, so on. So this is basically text input, right? So other than text input, can we give other type of input to the computer system? This is a question. The question answer is yes. Other than text input, we can give another type of input. So what are that? That is basically the voice input, or there is another type of input. So, so there are different types of inputs are available. So for that different types of input, we need different type of input devices. Okay. Similarly, whenever we want to get the output or the information, which is also called the process data, which we have given to the computer for processing, and after processing whatever we are getting, that is basically the output, and which is also known as the information. That means the process data, right? So whenever we want to get that process data, if the input data is text type, obviously, or if we do not convert, then obviously it will give the text data. If we give the voice data as an input, obviously we will get the voice data. Okay, simply. But in between processing, if we want to convert it, we can convert. Nowadays, you know that there is a machine translation, so we can translate or we can convert. So speech to text or text to speech. There are so many variation in there, though it is not applicable to you, but you can hear it or you can know it, that there are different types of facilities are available. So we can get that one in between the input and output if we process the data in such a way that we want to get the output as a uh, voice data, where the input data is the text data. That is also possible. Okay, so what I actually want to say to all of you, that we are going to know the input and output. Okay, so whenever we want to know the input and output, we have to know what are the devices through which we can give the input and we can get the output. That is basically our input output devices, right? So the input devices are generally used for input data, that is the keyboard, mouse, joystick, scanner, digital camera. Digital camera, basically this type of input is basically the image, right? Image as a input. Okay, barcode reader and touch screen, speech input devices, that is the microphone. So these are the different type of input devices through which we can give the input to the computer system. Now, similarly, we'll get the different type of output devices through which we can get the output. Monitor is one of the main output. You know that through monitor we get the output. If I consider a PC, then there is a monitor. If you consider a laptop, then there is also a monitor. And if you consider your mobile phone as a mini computer or tab, then the screen is basically which is your monitor, right? So speaker is also one type of output devices, because if you want to get the output as a speech, then you need the speaker, otherwise you cannot hear the output. Okay? And if you want to get the hard copy of this of your output, I mean your text output, then you need a printer. Okay, and the printer have the different types, so we will discuss later. So these are the basically the different type of output devices through which we will get the output. Now, how computer works, if you see the diagram, then it is shown here that there is an input. So the input will be sent to the processor, and the processor will process it, and there is a memory devices which is connected to the processor, and there is also a storage devices which is also connected to the processor. So something required to process it, then it will collect from the memory, and whenever after processing, if it want to store, then it can store to the storage devices, or if it want to give the output on the screen, that it can show. But whenever you want to print that data, and if you want to save the data for future, then it will be collected from the storage devices. Okay. So what's available for input? That is touch by fingers, feet, breath. These are the touch input. Then the sound, voice, other sounds. Then the gesture, the gaze. Then the brain waves. Whenever we do some MRI or CT scan, then the different types of waves are coming from that our systems or body, and that can be manipulated through that machine. Okay. And your gesture can be collected through the video, and then something can be calculated. Okay. Similarly, the textual information output has the visual images, photos, diagrams, icons. Then the moving images also as the output. Then the sound, music, voice. These are the different type of outputs. And see, you see here that this is basically your cabinet or the CPU, and the person to computer. So basically, used to used by a person to communicate with computer. So if we want to communicate with the computer, we have to give some input to the system so that we can communicate with the system. Similarly, computer will give some response or output through monitor or the different type of output devices, and we can easily interact. And similarly, we do the next step. Similarly, we will get the output from this system. So display information from the computer to the person. And I have already told you these are the input devices. Okay. So digital camera, scanner, and I think I will not describe in detail, because most of you have the idea about the computer different devices. So this is basically your keyboard, and keyboard have different types. So based on its key, so some keyboards have the number of keys are lower, some keyboard have the maximum number of keys, and every keys have some different function. So you know that those keys keyboard have maximum keys, then there is two times operation, some keys operation like arithmetic operation are two times, and the number is given two times. So in this way, and there are different types of functions keys are also there. So mainly what we do, actually these keys are divided into different types, and there are typically 101 to 105 keys, but the keys are different types. What are the different types of keys? The different types of, can you tell me what are the different types of key? Pondo, can you tell me what are the different types of key?
The different type of, yes sir, alphabetical keys are there, numerical keys are there,
Yes, yes, yes. So,
and some
uh,
functional keys are there,
functional keys are there. There are some special keys are there.
special keys are there.
Okay. So these are the different types of keys. I want to mention. Okay, so you know that at the top of the keys you will see that there are some F1, F2, F3, dot 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 up to F12. These are the functional keys. So this key, if you press, it will give a solution instantly. So it has a program enabled function, so it will give some output. Okay, so these are the functional keys. They're the numeric key. I mean, where the number is written. I mean, 1 to 0, 0 to 9. So these are the numeric key, and there are alphabet key A to Z. There are different special keys, and like CTRL, ALT, caps lock, tab, and escape, and there
Enter.
are some symbolic keys are there. কিছু বলছিস?
না স্যার, ওই এন্টার বললাম যে একটা স্পেশাল
হ্যাঁ,
কির মধ্যে।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ। তো these are the different types of key. I have already told you that maximum of you know what are the different types of keys. Still, I am just repeating. Okay. Then you will see that this is written here. The quadtree, you know that this is known as basically quadtree, escape, tab, caps lock. You know that it has the different function. So you know that whenever we want to get by the same key different output, then we can use the shift. Suppose if you only type A, then you will get uh, A as a small a. But if you press shift plus A, then you will get the capital A. Okay. Similarly, if you on the caps lock, then you will get all the keys are in the capital. And if you do not on the caps lock, then you will get all the keys as a small letter. Okay. And other than this, you have the other functions also available. Arrow keys are there. If you want to move right, left, and up, down, then you have to use the arrow key. There are also page up, page down keys also are there. So many keys are there, and these keys have the different functions. Okay. So you will see that two enters are there in this keyboard, where the number of keyboard keys are high, and you will get two enters, everything 2 2 2 control lt, you will get two times. Okay, so in this way you will get the maximum key. Basically the keyboard which is attached to the personal computer, you will get the maximum number of keys. But nowadays the keys which you will get in the laptop, and the size of the laptop is smaller, then you will get the smaller number of keys. Then another input device is the mouse, which is very common input devices. So through this mouse, we can give the input, the system. Now you may ask, how sir I will give the input 1 2 3 through mouse, and how I can write ABCD through mouse. So you have to know that only ABCD 1 2 3 4 are not the input. There are so many inputs are there by which you can give the input through this mouse. Okay, so mouse have different categories also. That is the uh, ball mouse is there. That is uh, a laser mouse is there, and also the mouse is again divided into based on the uh, button, two button mouse, three button mouse. But nowadays you will not see any three button mouse, and you will see only the two button mouse, and there will be a scroller in between the two buttons. So the scroller talks, the scroller button basically is replaced by this number three button. Okay, and the technology are different when where the ball is used. So ball is used to track the particular point, and sometimes nowadays we use the laser mouse. So laser ray basically uh, pointing that position. Okay, so by moving the mouse, the using the laser ray, we can track the different things. Also we can give the information to the system. So a mouse has 1 to 5 buttons. So one button mouse, two button mouse, three button mouse, four button mouse. But generally, we will not use that different type of mouse. Generally, we use nowadays the two-button mouse with a scroller, and which is basically the uh, laser ray mouse. Okay. So you see that types of mouse, wheel mouse. I have already told you that this is basically contains a rotating wheel used to scroll vertically. Okay, within a text document, connects connects to PS2 port or USB port. You know that nowadays maximum mouse are basically the USB port mouse, but before that there is a PS2 mouse is also available. Not only that, you will get nowadays the different cordless mouse.
Wireless
There is
mouse.
no
Wireless mouse.
wireless mouse, cordless or wireless mouse. Okay, but if you want to use the uh, wireless mouse or cordless mouse, then you have to put another sensor which will be connected to your system by USB port, and also you have to put a battery on your mouse which will connect. So just like a remote. Okay, so it has some advantage, because nowadays if we want to do some work on our bed, then we use the laptop, and the laptop and we want to put, do not want any hazard, then we will not use any wire mouse, then we basically use the cordless mouse, right? So cordless mouse have some advantage here. Basically, infrared signal through this uh, port will be connected, and that's through the computers, and that is computers IRDA port. It must be within sight of the receiving port, but it has some limits. If you want to do some work within a range between the computer and the mouse, then fine. If it is out of range, it will not work. Okay, because that is out of range. That's why it will not work. So using mouse, there are, what we do actually using mouse. I have already told you that we click. So there is a left button and the right button. So we click on button and we perform some work. Okay. So we can click left button or we can click right button, or whenever we click means a single click, but if it has a particular function, but if we double click it, it has different function. I mean, basically, single click means the selection, and whenever you will double click it, it will open the file or folder or whatever you want to do. But if you point your mouse on a particular file and folder, and if you single click, I mean, basically left click it, then it will select. And if you do not select, if you just double click the particular file or folder, then it will open. Okay. So based on that, it is basically divided into different types. And then we will know the click and drag. Suppose, in your desktop, if you want to move some file or folder from one place to another place, then you can do that with the help of this mouse. That is basically your drag and drop. So you can select that particular file, then you drag the file from that particular place, and if you put it to another place, then just drag to that particular place, go to that particular place, and click off it. Then it will be moved from one place to another place. That is basically your drag and drop. Okay. So this is another task, and you know that there is another input devices, that is basically the touch screen. Maximum of you are using the ATM, and in ATM we use the touch screen. Not only that, there are different places are also available where you can.
So smartphones are there where we use the touch screen.
Yes, yes, obviously touch smartphone is a example of touch screen. And if you go to different station, then you will see different vending machine is there. So that vending machine, if you want to operate, then you will see a touch screen is there. So just click on that touch screen and you will get some information. Not only that, if you go to Shialda or Howrah, if you want to get some information about or the status of your ticket, reserved ticket, then you can use that machine and click on it. Then you will get the status of your booking, right? So these are basically the different type of input which under which touchscreen is one type of input device. So often used for application with occasional use, for example, bank ATMs, information kiosks. There are different types of kiosks is available nowadays. By kiosk is a machine like a ATM machine, where you can perform different types of tasks. Like that now we can give the electric bill or the phone bill using the different kiosks. Uh, the people from Barashat or the student from Barashat, there is a kiosk machine for electric bill in nearby Shetpukur. Okay, so there is a kiosk machine. Kiosk machine you can give the electric bill from morning to night. So this is one type of machine. Okay, where where the input device is basically the touch screen. So no extra hardware used for the input and for output can be precise to 1 pixel, good for menu choice, not so good for other functions, intuitive to use. Okay,
স্যার আমরা
but
ট্রেন বলছিলাম স্যার যে ট্রেন স্টেশনে যেগুলো থেকে আমরা টিকিট কাটি স্যার ওগুলো কি এক ধরনের কিয়ক্স?
ওইগুলো এক ধরনের
মানে কিয়ক্স যেটা বললেন স্যার, মানে কিয়ক্স
হ্যাঁ
যেটা বললেন না, ওগুলো কি ওয়ান কাইন্ড অফ কিয়ক্স, মানে যেগুলো থেকে আমরা টিকিট কাটি স্টেশনে ওই যে লাগানো থাকে মেশিন গুলো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এখন মানে কিয়ক্সের বলতে ওইগুলোকে কিন্তু কিয়ক্স বলে কিনা আমি জানি না, তবে বলে না এখনো পর্যন্ত দেখেছি। কিয়ক্স বলতে ওই দেখবি ব্যাংকের ভিতরে কিছু টাকা জমা দেওয়া,
হ্যাঁ
টাকা
স্যার, ওই
তোলা,
টাকা জমা দেওয়া বা ওই
তারপরে
পাস বই আপডেট।
পাসবই আপডেট, ওইগুলোকে কিয়ক্স বলছে। তারপরে আমি যেটা বললাম টাকা ওই ইলেকট্রিক বিল, ওইগুলোকে কিয়ক্স বলছে। But you can also say that vending machine, ticket 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 vending machine is also one type of kiosk. So kiosk is basically one type of computer where the touchscreen is used, and the without interruption of other person, any person can do their own tasks. That is basically the kiosk machine. এটাই বেসিক্যালি কিয়ক্স মানে অন্যর কোনো হেল্পের দরকার নেই, নিজে গিয়ে নিজের টাইমে নিজে অপারেট করে চলে আসতে পারে, সেটাই
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
বেসিক্যালি
টিকিট কাটা গুলো তো
কিয়ক্স
এরকমই
মেশিন।
স্যার, যেগুলো আমরা ওই মানে
হ্যাঁ
লোকাল টিকিট কাটি যেগুলোতে
হ্যাঁ
বারাসাতেও
হ্যাঁ
আছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ওইগুলো বেসিক্যালি কিয়ক্স বলছে আর কি।
হুম।
ঠিক আছে। So but tiring it tiring if at wrong angle, need to be 30 to 45% from horizontal, and get dizzy and jammy. Finger can obscure screen. Alternative, use stylus to touch screen or light bill. Okay, so if you want to use your finger, you can operate it, or if you do not want to use your finger, then you can use another thing, that is basically the light pen is there. So you will see that some mobile phone also nowadays we cannot see, but from 2 or 3 years back, BlackBerry also using that type of light pen, and using that light pen you can operate on your mobile. Okay, so some place sub kiosks or something like that machines also use that light pen uh, for operation.
স্যার, যে ডিজিটাল বোর্ড গুলো এখন ইউজ করা হয় স্যার পড়ানোর জন্য বা বিভিন্ন কোম্পানিতে ইউজ করে, ওগুলোতে কি লাইট পেন ব্যবহার করে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ওগুলো ওই লাইট পেন ইউজ করে। Now you see the indirect pointing devices. need more cognitive processing than direct methods, but can be more efficient. Okay, like mouse, trackball, track point, touchpad. So these are the indirect pointing device. So you are not directly using your devices, but indirectly you are using. So whenever you are using mouse, if you want to click on a particular position with the help of this mouse, you are indirectly clicking here. Suppose I want to click on this part. Okay, so I'm not clicking this part through my finger or through not through my light pen, but through the mouse. So this is basically your indirect pointing device. Okay. See, it is shown how we'll do that indirect pointing device. Others trackball, trackpad, track point, less space on desktop, good in moving environments, that is car, train. That is basically your indirect devices, pointing devices. So you see, this is basically the joystick, and through this joystick, you may ask that where we can see the joystick. I will tell you that somebody who are playing game on different cyber cafes or different mall, then you will see this joystick. Okay, so through this joystick, basically you are pointing something or you are operating something. So instead of mouse or something like this, you are basically using uh, gear, just like a gear. If you see the gear of a car, it looks like that. You will move that gear or move that joystick accordingly. It will point in the different position, and accordingly it will operate. Okay. So the main use of joystick is to play computer game by controlling the way that some things moves on the screen. Okay. So basically it is used for computer games. Then see the microphone, and microphones is basically used for the speech recognition. So nowadays, you know that if I say something instead of searching something in Google, uh, we can say something if we on the microphone or speech recognition uh, speech recognition in the Google, from the Google. Then if you speak something that something about a position, something about person, or whatever you want to see, or some suppose you just say, you can say what is the meaning of cricket, what is the meaning of football. Then it will give you the output both in text and speech. Okay, so that option is given in the Google. Okay, so Google nowadays you can do that in Google. You can uh, instead of type, you can tell something and you will get the output. So use a microphone to talk to your computer. Add a sound card to your computer. Sound card digitized audio input into 101. So 01 is nothing but the binary code, because uh, computer without 01, I mean without binary code, computer cannot understand anything. So it computer will not understand what is actually we are saying. So it has to be converted into the binary code. Okay. A speech recognition program can process the input and convert it into the machine recognized command or input. Okay. It should be converted into the machine recognized command. So you see here, this is basically the audio input. Nowadays we use the headphone attached with the microphone, and it should be connected to the computer system. Whatever you want to speak, you can speak there, and it will recognize the input. And why we use this type of headphone? Because if we do not use this type of headphone simply if we say something in front of computer or in front of laptop, it will recognize, but there is a huge chance of noise. Okay, so that noise will be mixture with your actual voice, and ultimately will not get better results. So ultimately, if you want to give the noise free input, you have to give the input in a closed area, closed room, with the help of this microphone headphone. Then you will get the better output. Okay, so speech recognition is a type of input in which the computer recognizes words spoken into a microphone. Special software and a microphone are required. Obviously, to process that input, you need a software, because how otherwise it cannot process it. Okay. Latest technology uses continuous speech recognition where the user does not have to pause between the words. So this is the diagram for microphone to speech recognition. So you can see that how it process and how it break that speech into some signal. Then the signal is again converted into the speech recognition board, and again it will digitize input into the binary information, and that will be ultimately goes to the computer system. Then computer can easily understand that information, and it will process that, and the opposite direction it will convert it similarly, and gives the output in that particular spoken language, so people can easily understand. Now the digital camera, it has the good advantage. The webcam is also available. Digital camera is also available, and CCTV camera is also available nowadays. But before CCTV camera, we have the digital web camera, and before that, we have the digital camera. Nowadays, you will see the Canon and uh, Fuji, this type of company.
Nikon,
Yes.
Nikon একটা আছে না?
হ্যাঁ, নিকন খুব ভালো আর কি। Because I also prefer Nikon. I have a digital camera of Nikon company. So Nikon, Canon, these are the good companies for the digital camera, which collect the information. Now this information can be two types, because it is a continuous information, and it is a still picture. Okay, so still picture can process some information. Similarly, the moving information or the continuous information can process another type of information. Okay, so how it process actually? A digital camera can store many more picture than an ordinary camera. Pictures taken using digital camera are stored inside its memory and can be transferred to a computer by connecting the digital camera to it. A digital camera takes pictures by converting the light passing through the lens at the front into a digital camera. Now scanner, that we have the different type of scanner. You can, that in your mobile there is also a scanner. Uh, Dock scanner is also available, which can scan the information. If you want to scan something, you need not to always use the SP scanner or something like that. Like a Xerox machine, which basically scan the information, then it photocopy the original information. So in your mobile also you have some the different type of scanner by which you can scan the information. So there are two main types of scanner: handheld and flatbed. This is basically the two types of scanner. Now come to the point, the light pen. So light pen is one type of small pen-shaped wand which contains the light sensor, right? So using this light sensor, it can point something, and accordingly that position or function works. So it is used to choose object or commands on the screen, either by pressing it against the surface of the screen or by pressing a small switch on its side. A signal is sent to the computer, which then works out the light pen's exact location on the screen. The advantage of the light pen is that it doesn't need a special screen or screen coating. This is the main advantage of this light pen. Okay. Then there is a barcode reader. So barcode is a set of lines of different thickness that represents a number. So you know that whenever you want to buy a book or something other things, then there is a option, price option using this barcode. Okay, so they are not using like this rupees 250 or rupees 800. They are basically using this barcode. Mainly, you will see in the different books. So in
স্যার
books,
আজকাল তো ব্যাংকের বইতেও থাকে স্যার।
হ্যাঁ সব জায়গায় থাকে। Uh, so mainly this is basically used for uh, the hidden information. This basically here is information is hidden with the help of this barcode. Okay, so barcode reader you need to read that information. So are used to input data from barcodes. Most produced products in shop have barcodes on them because this is very easy that people will not understand what is the actual price. They will not temper it. But if you something like written there that 850 or 750, people will just erase it or temper it, then there will be some problem. So if we, instead of writing the direct price, if we write the barcode, then people cannot understand easily. Okay, what is written there, what is the actual price. They will only understand when they will go to the billing section. Then they will understand what is the actual value. And barcode reader works by shining a beam of light on the lines that makes up the barcodes and detecting the amount of lights that is reflected back. So by this reflecting light back, they are calculating about the information. So these are the different type of input devices: trackball, pointing stick, touchpad, then the touch screen, joystick, and light pen. Okay. Then go to the output devices. So first of all, what are the different types of output types? That is the text output, graphical output, video output, and the audio output. Right. So these are the different type of graphics output means the image output. Right. You see, this is basically your output devices engaging our senses. So whatever we have doing or writing, so and have performed, that can be seen through the monitor. But if you want to get that hard copy of that output, you need the printers, and you can also hear the output through the speaker. Okay. So output devices are the peripheral devices that enables us to view or hear the computer's process data. Okay. So there are visual output and the audio output. So visual output is basically the text, graphics, and the video which you can see. Audio output basically the music, audio, and synthesized speech. These are basically the audio output. And then the output devices: monitor, printer, speaker, and the data projectors. This is your monitor, and you see there are two types of monitor: LCD monitor and the CRT monitor. Nowadays, you will not see the CRT monitor. CRT basically the cathode ray tube monitor. The size of that cathode ray monitor is bigger than nowadays the LCD. I mean the liquid crystal display monitor. Okay.
এলইডিও তো আছে।
Yes, LED is also available. Both are available. Okay. So you cannot distinguish between the LED and LCD. These are the same category. Just technology are different, but uh, they are basically same types. Okay. So the sorry, a monitor is a peripheral device which displays a computer output on a screen. Okay. Then the screen output is referred to as the soft copy. So whatever the output you are seeing on the monitor, this is basically your soft output or soft copy output. But if you want to get that output as a hard copy, then you need the printer. Okay. So then we divide the output device into two types, mainly the CRT output, I mean cathode tube output, and the liquid crystal display output. This is basically your CRT, then the LCD, cathode tube, electron gun shoot, a stream of electrons at a space phosphor coated screen. So this is basically the electronics device, as it is an electronics device. So uh, you can say that how it defined and how it performed, that is written here. On impact, the phosphor flares of for a fraction of a second. Then the electron gun sweeps across the screen many times of a second. Okay. Then the LCD, liquid crystal display, uh, one of several types of flat panel display, from output to solidified crystal and backlighting the images that with a light source. Okay. TV sets and CRTs are many desktop monitor use this technology, and LCD is primarily used but for laptop uh, and other portable devices. Now this is basically your video display terminology. So whatever we are getting on the screen, not only our monitor or our computer, but whatever you are getting on your mobile, that is basically there is a technology based on that it works. So pixel, what is pixel? So if you want to display something, if you want to uh, if you talk about the different types of images, then obviously you have to know the pixel, because uh, picture is nothing but a collection of
Pixels,
pixels, right? So pixel is the unit, you can say, is the basic unit of any type of video
image,
or image. Okay. So picture elements, smallest unit of an image, basically a single dot on the screen. Then there is a resolution. Okay. Number of pixels in the image. Common resolution size is 1024 by 768. Then the refreshing rate, how often a CRT electron guns scans. LCD displays do not use an electron gun, so do not performing perform refreshing. Then the printer, you know that there are mainly three types of printer, though it is written here two types. That is the dot matrix printer, inkjet printer, and the laser printer. If you go to railway station or different office, I mean the government old office, then you will see that the printing is done by a typing machine. Just one character will be, what are the character is reading from the screen or the from memory, that character will be printed by a hammer on the paper. So that is basically the concept of the dot matrix printer.
dot matrix printer.
Then you come to inkjet printer. So it is more better than the dot matrix printer. It is less expensive, and if you want to do some color print, you have to use that inject printer. If you use the dot matrix printer, you cannot print the color print. Okay, slower with a higher per page cost than laser printer. Okay, so laser printer can print very fast than any other print, any type of printer, because it cannot print character by character or line by line. It prints for the whole image at a time, read the whole image at a time, and print the output. That's why it is very fast. Also, it is more expensive, faster, lower per page cost than link jet, than the inkjet. So this is your printer, laser printer, which is printing hard copy. Okay. Then the types of printer you see. This is the left hand side. This is basically this one. This one is basically the inkjet printer, and this one basically your laser printer. Then the difference between the inkjet printer and laser printer, you will see that. Sorry, inkjet is also called a bubble jet. Makes character by inserting dot of ink into onto paper. And laser printer basically works like a copier, and quality determined by dot per inch DPI produced, and quality in inkjet printer, later quality printout. Then the cost of printer is inexpensive, but ink is costly. Here the color printer expensive initial cost, but cheaper to operate per piece. Okay. Then you come to know about the plotter. Plotter is one type of printer, you can say, but here you can print the very big size of output on a single screen or a double screen. If you want to print a image of a building or plan, or the different types of planning, then if you want to process it into the printer, then you have to use the plotter. Okay. It is used in engineering, drafting, map making, and seismology. Okay, so in the first year, whatever you are doing, then in engineering, they are using this plotter for their what I say drawing purpose. So whatever the drawing they are draw on a uh, paper, I mean that is basically not A4 paper. That is more than that. That paper can be scanned by this plotter. Okay. So audio output, sound card and speaker is needed. Audio output is the ability of a computer to output sound. Then two components are needed. That is the sound card and the speaker. So sound card basically plays the content of the digitized recording, whereas the speakers is attached to a sound card. So these are basically your device summary. We have already talked about the input devices, different input devices like the keyboard, mouse, joystick, then scanner, digital camera, barcode reader, touchscreen, speech input devices. That is the microphone, then the output device, monitor, speaker, printers. These are the different type of input devices and the output devices. Okay. আচ্ছা, আমি কয়েকটা কথা জিজ্ঞাসা করতে চাই। সেটা হচ্ছে যে এই অবধি কারোর কি কোনো অসুবিধা আছে? থাকলে আগে সে বলে নিক, তারপরে আমি